y'all, welcome to the latest episode of Catch the Fuck Up. I'm Fern, and I can't believe I managed to remember what the intro is because it's been a fucking month since the last chapter has come out. It hasn't actually been a month. It feels like it's been a month.
It's been like 20 days, but it feels like 84 years. Hi, I'm Nicole, and I was right again.
All right. Well, this week we are looking at chapter 380 of My Hero Academia, the chapter of which is a Scotch asterisk, which will be explained.
Yeah, the title, like when they do the asterisks it for English idiot folks like us, it's to like tell what the translation is. It's usually used for, I think, Japanese words that don't translate well, but they did it in...
Scotch is it's an English word.
I know, but they usually do it for Japanese words that don't translate well to English to kind of give it a background. But no, a skosh is very much English slang, and I spent like a good 30 seconds looking for the definition on the first page. It's not there, and we will get to
it. Oh, Lord. Yeah, prepare for cringe.
Yes.
But should we get started?
Yeah, we should get started. Fern and I have seen like a bunch of spoilers, no context on TikTok, and they're basically just frames from the chapter. We'll get to them when we get to them, but I have been very upset since I first saw one of them.
Oh, honey.
You remember when I was screaming in the group chat?
Yeah. And then I saw another thing and I was like, oh, she's going to be double upset. And I did not warn you.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Diving right in. We are picking right up where the last chapter left off 84 years ago, which was where Sky High is falling, Toga as twice is tsunamiing everything. And Deku and Shigaraki are now on the ground while Sky High is falling and they're trying to catch it. Anyway.
Yeah, it's being held up by Gentle Criminal, who is doing his best. His girlfriend is there and she is kicking ass.
Yes, his girlfriend is better than him.
She is. Yeah. Labrava is the best.
Yeah. So from the last chapter where we were on Deku and Shigaraki, we now bounce up to Gentle, who is speaking into his communicator to the like general's room where Labrava is doing her amazing hacking. And he's basically saying that he's at his limit, like he's not going to be able to hold up the school anymore. But Labrava has a program that will basically like restart the school's software that is keeping it afloat. So he basically just has to hold it until she can upload it.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's going to like redistribute like signals to different engines that are not broken, blah, blah, blah.
Lots of engineering and different types of engineering that I know nothing about because I cannot math. Okay, so from here, we watch Gentle watch Izuku diving off Sky High, and he has his stupid little crisis of ethics and identity again because he's fucking Gentle and he can't stop making it about himself.
It's his coping mechanism, I think.
Yeah, basically his internal monologue is like, oh my god, Deku is leaving, he's lost faith in me, wait, he doesn't know I'm here, wait, I'm doing this to just be a hero, in fact, so it doesn't matter what Izuku is doing as long as I am doing my part, which is nice that he like got to that. But
Nicole's just like, can we hurry this the fuck up?
Yeah, I mean, he's not on my shit list anymore, but he's on my ignore list, essentially. It's like, he's doing his thing, fine, whatever. We also don't get an update on Lady Nagant, which I'm mad about. Because she also...
Lots of updates we don't get in this chapter that I'm upset about.
Yep. No updates that we actually wanted. Also, the episode where, like, Lady Nagant, like, premieres in her arc with Izuku back in his angst adventure, which is now called the Dark Hero arc, which I disagree with.
Yeah, it's the angst adventure, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Like, she just showed up yesterday in the episode that aired, and now today we don't get an update on how she's doing after she fired off that last shot, and we had to focus on fucking Gentle. Anyway. Okay, so with his stupid little internal monologue, he's saying that now he knows he can be a hero in his heart. He doesn't need the accolades. He doesn't need the fame. Again, hooking it back to that whole theme thing that he had going on about being a hero in public versus being a hero where nobody can see you. And Pickles is barking again.
Do you need to take a breath, babe?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just excited. It just babbles and she's barking and I don't know what she's barking at. I hope no one is here.
I'm sure she's barking at shadows again.
Oh, maybe she's barking at my package.
Ooh, package.
Okay. So with this like realization that he doesn't need to be in front of the cameras, we obviously switch up to the business course students still doing their filming. And,
children.
and Gentle has the moment where he's like, oh my God, the cameras are actually here. Because he's a stupid head. But he like sticks with his like newfound motivation. And he tells the kids who are leaning out of the undercarriage, filming what Izuku is doing, he tells them to get back inside and like protect themselves, even though that would mean he would not be filmed. So he has, in fact, like improved as a character. I don't particularly care, but hey, he did it.
He's just yet another example that society is slowly moving forward, even as it's falling apart. So
yes, exactly. So like with the realization, like they both see each other and they like both recognize each other. Like the kids recognize him as a former villain who's supposedly in custody, who is now helping them, which is good because they're saying it out loud on the film. So hey, documentarian is doing the work.
Yeah, he's doing his thing.
Yep. And like Gentle yells at them to get back inside because that's what you do when you're an adult and children are in danger. But then the beehive hair kid, like the beehive hairstyle kid, yells back at him. He's like, no, this is what our job is. This is what we should have been doing this whole time, using our ability to document with our phones, with whatever cameras we have available. We should have been basically recording all efforts in this war and in the fight against AFO and Shigaraki instead of just focusing on Endeavor. And then he basically continues and is like, this film is how basically they believe it to be like this film, this documentary style type of thing is what is going to kind of heal the societies and the public's faith in heroes.
Yeah, like the further transparency is going to make people understand what is actually like all the effort involved behind heroism, not just the bad parts of it, but the good parts of it too, because all of that has been kept away from the public.
Yeah, because before it was all just
showmanship.
It was through rose-colored glasses. It was very policed by the commission. And now they're finally realizing that, we should document everything, be transparent about it, not focus on the big three or whatever the hell. And that will help restore public faith. Because again, transparency in law enforcement is the only thing that will help increase faith in actual law enforcement. I think it's also nice that it does kind of tie in again with the real world, how
oh yeah, like, Horikoshi, he can't help himself.
Yep, like before cell phones and social media, the news we got was heavily filtered by journalists, by governments, and blah blah blah, all of that. But now that we have indisputable video from multiple citizens, things are more transparent, things are more realistic, and
we're getting more narratives and more points of view.
Yes, and it's very nice that is shown. And it's shown so quickly because there is so much else happening in the chapter. So with that statement made, the beehive hair kid's phone starts talking to him and he's like, fuck, my phone's been hacked.
Yeah. And LaBrava, you got to warn people. You can't just do that.
Yeah. And for a very brief second, I was like, oh, fuck, Skeptic is at it again. And then I remembered, oh, wait, Miss Joke has Skeptic. Like he's out of the picture. He's fine. So
LaBrava and Skeptic thoroughly kicked his ass.
Yeah. So
LaBrava and Joke thoroughly kicked Skeptic's ass. My bad.
Yes, that one. So his phone has been hacked, but it's hacked by LaBrava. And we jump back to where LaBrava and Tsukauchi is, and Tsukauchi's like, what the fuck are you doing hacking kids' phones? You need to make the school fly. And LaBrava's like, I already did that, bro. Can you sit down?
I need LaBrava and Hatsume to hang out They
Yes.
they will understand each other so thoroughly. They'd
so
be best
thoroughly.
friends.
Yep. And it like Hatsume can intern with her as she creates her inevitable hero agency focused on like surveillance and shit. And like they will be partners and it'll be great. And Gentle will be off to the side being silent.
Mm-hmm. And then they will accidentally destroy the world. It'll be great.
Fine. It's fine. It's good. So she has now saved Sky High. She's like rebooted it. She's uploaded her software. The engines are now going to start going. But now that she has control over these phones, she is telling them to keep filming, and she is now live broadcasting wherever she can to show one that Gentle is being heroic. But
Brava,
two,
not the time,
not the time. But
we
like,
appreciate it, but not the time.
but she is also broadcasting like every feed that is going on. Like those two are probably not the only ones filming. The other business course students are probably doing other stuff as well, and so she's broadcasting everything she can.
People are actually seeing how the battle's going down. They don't have to hear a filtered version of it later.
Yep, exactly. So then with that, again, the engines restart, the load is lifted off of Gentle, and we don't know what happens to Gentle. I'm assuming he can get himself to the ground.
I think he still has floating. To help hold it up, but like the load is now way lighter. Just based on the phrasing.
Yeah, okay. That would make sense because I was like, oh, he lifted the school until the engines restarted. Now he's going to plummet to his death. Unfortunately, we don't see that happen.
No, I'm sorry. Unfortunately for you, no.
It's fine. So to keep going, we now switch perspectives again to where the tsunami of Toga Twices is still attacking, in fact. Still going. I think they are technically on the like support building Sky High where like Monoma and Aizawa were. I don't know if they're also like on the main one.
Crossing the cable that connects that little platform to the bigger Sky High.
Yeah. So basically we don't know everything that they've done yet, but they are still in fact wreaking havoc. And with the portal now closed between Gunga, where Toga Twice was, and Sky High, where she sent all the Twices through, basically I'm reading it as she sent them through with one last like mission, and that mission is every last hero has to die.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So,
because I mean, those things, the more you create of them, the more vulnerable they get. So, like the second someone even punches one of those things, they're going to go down. Like it's strength in numbers only.
Literally, yeah. So with that, we kind of pan back out from the support island, which is attached to the main island with cables, which are what the Twices are crossing over. But behind the Twice tsunami, we have the little cloud that is Kurokumo.
Yeah.
So as of now, whatever form he is in, he does not appear to be corporeal like Kurogiri used to be. Like he used to be a dude with a smoke head. But right now he is just a vaguely human-shaped cloud, which calls back to Oboro. And he is still attempting to think, poor sweet darling.
Yeah. Also, I am going to throw in my own I was right, hell yeah moment here. Because I knew this exact situation was going to happen.
Yes. Tell me. Okay. So with him attempting to think, he can only say, I am protector. And with that, we go out from that speech bubble to kind of a shot of all the Twices attacking everything. And it says, of what? So I don't
fucking knew it. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah. So as Fern stated, they were correct in the fact that his essentially main programming, building off of what Oboro wanted to do as a rescue hero that AFO then took advantage of to basically brainwash him into being Shigaraki's protector. So like that is him.
Coming back to bite him in the ass. Yeah, it is.
So, and they're like, of what? Who's he going to protect? And of course, we see him turn to look at Aizawa and President Mike.
Yep.
My heart. So with that, we see they're both still alive. So that's good. We haven't seen an update on them since the Twices came through a couple chapters ago. You all right?
Yeah, no, keep going.
Okay. And between them, like we see that they are struggling, and when we see somebody yell sensei,
It's Monoma.
It's not Monoma, in fact. You turn the page and we see that.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. That's not him. He's in the back.
Yep.
I'm sorry. They look really similar.
They do. They're both blonde loudmouths. It's fine.
Like even their eye shape is similar. But anyway.
Yes, but anyway, you turn the page to the next panel where we see the Twices have attacked Present Mike and Aizawa, obviously, because they are heroes. And they have essentially thrown both themselves and Aizawa and Present Mike off the island. So now they are falling to the ground where they will die. And my chest hurts.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
I know. Like when I was reading it, I was like, oh fuck. But
yeah, this was the part I saw, and I was like, oh, Nicole is not going to have a good time with this.
I actually also saw the top panel on a leak. I didn't know it was a leak TikTok. I thought it was just an Eraser Mike video. And then I saw that, and I was like, wait, I don't recognize that. Oh shit. And then I scrolled away. So I like saw them in the air doing something. And the point of the TikTok was that Present Mike is reaching out to Aizawa to try and grab him because they are husbands. I didn't see anything else. So under that panel, we have Denki is actually the one shouting for Sensei, because remember he came out of the undercarriage to see what could be done, and he's there and he sees them go overboard.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that part because that was like 20 chapters ago, in case anyone's keeping track.
Yeah, it was basically 20 years ago. Horikoshi, how can we remember all of this? Except I'm cursed with the memory. It's fine. So behind Denki is Monoma and Manga, the other 1B student who was with Denki in the undercarriage, and they are being closed in on by the Twices, and Denki is freaking out because those are his senseis. Those are his dads.
But especially Aizawa. Like he's got, I mean, Denki's one of Aizawa's problem kids. Like they're going to have a special connection.
Exactly. Yeah. So he watches them fall, and then as we pan back to Aizawa and Present Mike, who have presumably shaken off the Twices, because again, they just need to be punched once and they're done. Present Mike is falling and reaching to Aizawa, but they are both caught by Kurokumo. And then they all disappear. So we don't know where they are right now. But they were saved by their friend, and their friend saved them. And I need to know where they went. I need to know if it is in fact Kurokumo or just Kurogiri. And it's fine. It's fine. So with that, we pan back up to Denki, who is with Mandalay. And he makes the comment that he saved them, but Mandalay makes the comment that he just took erasure off the field, which will benefit Shigaraki. And both are true.
Exactly. Both are true because he's Kurokumo.
Yes, exactly. And his Opero brain will win out over the Kurogiri programming, or I will raise hell. Okay.
But also, I feel like he's still going to be in that protective Shiggy mode, but in the way that Izuku is.
Yes, that makes sense, and that's also very poetic and shit. Okay. Okay. So with them now disappeared wherever Kurokumo took them, we once again go back to the filming, and we see that one of them is in fact watching the battle that is about to start between Deku and Shigaraki on the ground, and Mandalay tells Denki that all they can do is have faith and keep fighting for Midoriya.
Yep.
So we see the battle essentially start. Izuku is rushing at Shigaraki, and Shigaraki is preparing his own thing, and then we switch to another fight.
Because of course we do. Horikoshi, I hate you.
Yep. So we switch back to Gunga, which is now where Toga is with the rest of the Twice army. And I was telling Fern basically from the spoilers we had seen, it was of characters who are at Gunga. So I was like, oh, we're getting a Gunga update, that means we might get a Toga Chaco update. We don't.
We did not. I wasn't really pinning my hopes on that anyway. That ship is held together with spit and prayer.
Yep. So we don't get an update on them, but we are just back where they are. We also don't know what's going on with Bakugo or Edgeshot, and I am sad. It's fine. So at Gunga, we unfortunately once again switch to AFO's monologue. And let me switch to my screenshots because the app crashed.
I mean, basically he's just saying his usual thing. Do we have to repeat it?
No, he's just continuing to monologue, and he's like, basically Shigaraki's mind surviving in their mind melt was not the plan, but I'm just going to continue what I'm doing because God forbid I actually be flexible in my plans for world domination.
Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, I can still control him. I'm just going to go over there.
Yeah, I just got to go over there and punch him in the face because I'm an abuser. So with the return to Gunga, we get a little update of what's going on the ground, and it is pure chaos because it's a tidal wave of twice.
It's absolute fucking chaos.
Yep. There's one hero I don't recognize. I feel like I might recognize him just as like a previous background character, but the one I do recognize is Pixie Bob, and like she's being overwhelmed by the twices. So that's not good. But she'll be fine because she's amazing.
She better be. Let's put it that way.
Yes, that. So with that, we again suffer through AFO's monologue, but as he's essentially trying to fly to sky high and like meet Shigaraki in the middle, which is what we know they've been trying to do for a while now, he looks behind him and he sees Hawks is on his tail. Like Hawks is not going to let him escape, essentially. So with that, Hawks does catch up to him, and there's like a weird shadow going on in his face.
I think that's supposed to be blood.
Yeah, because he had like blood on his face before. Whatever. So he's very intense. It is coming to this climactic moment, and of course, Tokoyami is watching them because that's Hawks. Like he's backing up Hawks.
Yeah, that's also like his weird older brother.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll also want to point out that Jiro, Frappy, and Uraraka are now not with him, so he has dropped them off somewhere.
They're probably fighting all the twices on the ground. And also, exactly. I'm assuming Ochako is trying to get to Toga.
Yeah, exactly. So, of course, Tokoyami watches because he can't do anything when Hawks is in danger because they are brothers. So with that, Hawks catches up to AFO and he attacks with one of his swords, tries again to cut off his head because apparently that's the only move he can do.
Honestly, though, like considering all the various quirks he has, that's actually a pretty good idea. Because at this point, he's basically kind of zombie-esque. Like the only kind of physical blow that's going to have any effect at all is just completely severing his spinal cord.
Yeah, exactly. And he tries to cut off his head, and unfortunately, AFO does dodge, and just like he just moves his head to the side. And as Hawks is doing his own monologue, because he's Hawks, he's also talking about eliminating him to create a bright future for the kids. AFO makes the comment that the wind seems to blow my way, basically making a comment that Hawks is a bird and flying and wind is important, whatever.
He's just being a douche.
Exactly. And he attacks, and it appears that he essentially tears Hawks apart.
Yeah, Hawks starts dissolving in like little streams of feathers.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not quite what Shigaraki's decay looked like. It looks like basically AFO has just kind of torn him apart. And
yeah, it looks like Shigi's decay, but much more poetic.
Yes, which of course AFO would attempt to do because he's a douche. And with that, we see kind of a close-up of Hawks's face. We kind of see him like out of it, dying. We see Tokoyami gasping because again, that's his brother. He's watching his brother die. He couldn't save him this time, except like he did at the first one. And then you turn the page and Hawks is suddenly handsome. And
this was the one of the spoilers we saw.
Yeah, this was the main spoiler that was all over TikTok, which I mean, It's not
It
really
is very funny.
it's very funny. It also doesn't actually spoil anything unless you're like me and you remember everything.
Yeah, Cammy does this.
Yep. So when we saw this and I was freaking out in the group chat, I was like, why the fuck have they made Hawks handsome? That's not what he looks like. What is happening? What kind
And
of
especially
backwards
like
ass?
all the roses too. Like that's a pretty clear
Yes.
indicator.
It's a very clear indicator that a certain character has returned. And if folks remember back to the Five Weenies arc, Kimmy from Shiketsu has an illusion quirk, and she basically has a habit of turning turning dudes into even handsomer versions of themselves in a very shoujo style. And that is exactly what we're seeing with Hawks. So when I was having my meltdown, thinking, "What the fuck? The whole thing has gone off the rails. What is happening with Hawks? What?" And then I was like, "It better be fucking Cammy." And I was just typing this into the group chat. I was just like melting down through my thumbs, like, "It better be
Yep,
fucking Cammy."
yep.
And then as soon as I had like typed that and sent it and was still freaking out, I was like, "Wait, what if it's Cammy?" And I was right.
I just got a block of text within
Yep.
the span of like 5 seconds. I was like, oh boy, okay.
Yep. Yep. And as Fern knows and is angry about, my subconscious is always smarter than my conscious. So my subconscious was telling me that it was in fact Cammy before I
I just
realized
don't
it was
understand how
Cammy.
you managed to remember anything at all ever.
I don't know. So it is a bit of a spoiler, but folks who remember the Five Weenies arc, it's not a spoiler. Cammy has arrived. But before we get to Cammy, we have to talk about Tokoyami.
His very shocked face.
Yep, his very shocked bird face, which was the other main spoiler leak that we saw. Now,
Oh, he's so sweet. I love him so
he's
much.
poor thing. He has not been Camified. Like, this is not an illusion from Cammy. This was his
Genuine reaction.
Yeah, genuine reaction, genuine shock, and general what the fuck as he watches Hawks not actually die, but disappear into a puff of rosy smoke. This is just his reaction to it. And it is very much in line with the other like doodles and sketches we get from Horikoshi and his team, like not in the actual chapters. Like Tokoyami is a favorite for the sketches that they release sometimes. And that is very in line with those. So we knew that, or well, I knew that this Tokoyami face actually did not have to do with Cammy. It was just something fucking was going on, and I could not compute.
Well, I mean, it is directly related to what Cammy does. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like,
oh, well, you said did not.
Well, it's like it's very clearly not a product of her actual illusion. It is showing the reaction to the illusion.
I didn't even consider that.
Yeah, it's basically like it's a very funny, it's a moment of humor in all the fuckedness that's going on of just a cartoon character getting a hyperbolic cartoon face when something shocking happens. And it's great. I love it. And I
also every time you have a My Hero related meltdown, I imagine you making that exact face.
Yes, exactly. That is the face I made inside out and for the last several days trying to figure out why the fuck Hawks was so handsome. Because like he is handsome, but he's not handsome in the like shoujo way. It's fine. So anyway, with that, finally gonna go back into the actual chapter. But again, I was right. So with that, as the Cammy illusion falls apart, the Hawks, that's not Hawks, like the illusion of him starts going over a death monologue. He's like, "Oh, the agony. Oh."
I love Cammy so much.
Because that is what Cammy does. She like makes everything really dramatic and it's wonderful and it's very effective in this moment. And then we go to the next panel and she says, "Totes an illusion for reals," because that is how she talks and she is perfect.
Prepare yourself for the cringiest approximation of Gen Z talk that you have ever heard. It is so bad, y'all.
It is so bad, but also I feel like on some level Cammy may actually talk about this because she likes talking in cringe, essentially. Like
I could see her doing that, actually, just super over exaggerating every aspect of her personality to purposefully annoy the people around her. Yes, that does make sense, I guess. I just don't want to give the writers that much credit because I just don't do that.
Yes, so we are just going to take what's on the panel and make it our own. So with that, she is speaking directly to AFO. She is talking to the big bad demon lord of this entire property. And she's like, if I'd been a Skosh later, you would have unalived that certified hottie I'm simping for. Not very fetch of you, no cap. And so many cringes. That is a direct quote of what she said. And then we finally get the definitions of the words with the asterisks. We get Skosh, we get unalived, we get simp, we get fetch, and we get no cap. And I kind of like that they included fetch.
Yeah, the definitions are a little tongue-in-cheek. Like the one for no cap says, a distinct lack of a hat. Who knows honestly? We know because we are chronically online and we are forever in awe of everything that like the Gen Z slang makers make. And like, also, I refuse to believe that Horikoshi doesn't know. Also, I just noticed, is she riding a finger?
Yep, I was just about to get to that. She is riding a finger. That. No, nobody likes that, but we will get to why she is in fact riding a finger.
Okay, so I do have to cut in here. Yep. I saw a fake spoiler for this panel.
Oh no, what did you see?
I saw Cammy calling Hawks a D tier twink. It's fucking funny. And obviously I knew it was a fake spoiler, but
something she would say though.
That's something she would actually say.
Yes, exactly.
I really wish that had happened.
Oh man, it's happening in her head, but I think even she knows that AFO would not understand what she was talking about if she said.
Yeah, he would not understand that burn. It would be wasted on him.
Exactly. She's gonna save it for her blog. All right.
But yeah, so, that made me cry with laughter.
Yeah, it was hilarious. It was perfect. And I didn't like talk about at one point like where the fuck Shiketsu was, or somebody on TikTok had said like where the fuck the Shiketsu heroes are. And
it's definitely come up a couple of times.
Yeah.
In past chapters, we've been like, where the fuck are the Shiketsu kids? Like they have some powerhouses. When are they going to show up?
Yeah, exactly. And the reason that they are not there is because their job was to help with a bunch of civilians that were supposedly coming to their territory. And we are finally now seeing like what's going on with that. Like they were basically assigned to protect civilians. And like
specifically they were supposed to receive refugees from UA, but they did not arrive, which let them know that something is happening with the refugees.
Yep.
And so like that thing that we got like hints for 40 chapters back, that is going on in the background.
Yeah, that is still happening. That is still going to come up, but that is basically why they've now arrived, because the job that they were assigned is now irrelevant. So they have come to help fight instead of help protect. So with that, we get another panel where we see somebody using a quirk, and it becomes clear who it is. So I'm just going to say it. It is the meatball guy whose quirk I hate. It's the Shiketsu kid who is able to, like, if he touches you, he can turn you into a meatball. And he can also manipulate his own flesh, like, around him. So that's why Cammy is riding on a finger.
She's riding his finger.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And
that makes more sense. I completely ignored his existence.
Yep. And that is also why the real Hawks is being held back by another finger. So that's what's going on with him. He was, in fact, going to attack AFO with the beheading again, but the Shiketsu kid held him back, and good for him, or AFO would have killed him. So yay, meatball kid, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it is a very strong quirk. We just find it gross.
Yeah, exactly.
Poor kid.
It's like, good for you, kid, for not becoming a villain, because that would have been real bad. But your quirk is still nasty.
Unfortunately.
So with his arrival, I forget his name, because I honestly don't care what his name is. He's Meatball Kid. He takes up his own monologue, because he's another monologuer, if we remember back to the Five Weenies arc.
Yeah.
Yep. So he basically monologues what Fern already said. Like, something's going on with the refugees, so we were not needed where we were, so we came here to help in the fight. And with that, we zoom out to see the meatball kid. We see Cammy again writing on the finger, going back down to the ground. And in the background, we see Inasa.
Inasa! Oh my god, I love him. I'm so glad he's here.
He's finally here. Like, we have not seen him since Five Weenies.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
also, like, talk about like a quirk that was desperately needed. This is going to be a huge help against all the Twices.
All the Twices, and also the wildfire that Dobby set off. Because again, Dobby is also there.
Oh yeah, his animated corpse is still there.
His charcoal body is there. And it's also very interesting that Shoto is not there, but his best friend Inasa is there to face his brother. And
I think if he heard us calling Inasa his best friend, he would punch us both. He's still in denial.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it's fine because that's what he is. It's also really good to see Inasa has arrived to fight fire with air, because usually, you know, like wind helps a wildfire burn hotter, but if he's able to do it right, he can essentially take all the oxygen out of where the fire is and like put it out in like one fell swoop, basically eliminating whatever Dobby's got going on, which will be great. And maybe Endeavor will finally do his fucking job.
I doubt it, but we'll see.
Exactly.
I'm still convinced that Endeavor is going to die hugging the burning corpse of his son.
Yeah, that's what we can hope for. So with that, it appears to be the last page of the chapter because it says to be continued. Yeah, but you can also swipe again to get another page. And the page is a continuation of Inasa essentially sweeping up all the Twices. So, like, if you think about it, Hawks didn't actually have to kill Twice to begin with. They could have just brought in Inasa whenever he unleashed Sadman's Parade, which makes it even sadder. Yep. And then the chapter does actually end on this extra page, or this page that
I think it's supposed to be it's like a 2-pager.
A 2-pager, yeah.
It's like, it's one image or one main image on 2 pages. Yeah. It just looks weird because we're on our phones.
Yeah, and we don't read them horizontal, or at least I don't. I read them vertical. And the chapter closes with Inasa yelling at AFO, which, like, it's beautiful that Cammy and Inasa are the students yelling at AFO because they're so goofy.
Zero respect, and I love it.
Zero fucks given. It's beautiful. And Inasa is like, listen up, pal. I'm the one who says which way the wind blows. Bam.
Boom. Mic drop.
Yes, he actually said something good while also being goofy because he is Inasa.
I love that kid so much.
And this was such a good chapter. I'm so mad they made us wait 3 weeks.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. But like, I mean, considering everything that happens, that looked like a lot to draw. So yes, I'm going to give them a pass.
Yeah, for sure. I'm also giving them a pass. I'm just mad. I mean,
we would anyway, but
yeah. And we also don't really know if it was like some sort of glitch that happened, or if they did need all the time to upload it. But yeah, this was a really good chapter to have had to wait for. And the new chapter says it's coming in 7 days, but so did it say last time. So hopefully.
Yeah, we have no trust anymore. Our trust has been shattered.
Yeah, it's been shattered. It is in pieces below my constant angina for my son, who is still presumably undergoing JART surgery.
Yep. But I mean, hey, in real life, heart surgeries take like 24 hours. So.
True, but like how
considering he's doing pretty good.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, it's been 5 whole minutes. Ed Shot, I'm gonna need you to get in there.
Speed things up a little bit, pal.
Yeah. So overall, it was again a pretty straightforward chapter. We had more characters come out of the woodwork and like contribute to the fight, which is continuing when the villains showed up last time, so that's nice. But as far as like overall themes and shit, I didn't see anything. It was just mainly plot and characters coming back.
I do have one thing to ponder. So, you know, obviously Inasa is there. He can help use his wind to get rid of some of the Twices. before I was theorizing that the only way, now that Toga has twice his blood and she can do that, the only way they were going to be able to take her down is if Ochako somehow did it. And now I'm wondering if that's like Inasa's presence is going to conflict with my theory, or if he's going to like be diverted and have to do something else. So he can't do that. So Ochako still has to do her thing. It'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. I just don't, as much as I love Inasa, I don't want him to steal my girl's thunder.
Yes, but what could happen is if Inasa is in fact ordered to sweep the Twices away and also take Toga out of the battle, because the whole point of Toga being at the island was to make sure she wasn't like with AFO. She wasn't able to help.
Yeah, no, I know that part.
So basically what it could happen is he's ordered to take Toga away and Uraraka goes with them. So like Inasa is told to eliminate her, but Uraraka goes with them both to try and talk her down. And Inasa goes along with it because he's a himbo and an ally for the lesbians.
He is like the ultimate lesbian ally.
Exactly. So I could, if I was the one writing it, I would do it that way. But I
would not.
I agree.
I don't like that because I want Ochako's level up moment when AFO sees that she's been turned and then he attacks. But like Toga's presence in the battle and her remaining in the battle is like that's like a key point of what I'm imagining. Yeah. And like the scene I'm writing. So I don't want her to be taken out of it.
Right.
And if that does happen, I will be kind of pissed because I think my idea is really cool.
Your idea is really cool. It is really good. The only way I could see that working if Inasa is ordered to take Toga out along with the Twices is he tries, but for whatever reason, he's not able to get her away fast enough. And then Ochako comes in, tries to talk. It like somebody is injured, and then Ochako gets her level up, and Toga witnesses AFO hurting Uraraka, and it's all just one big cyclone.
I was thinking like AFO hurting Toga because she changed her mind.
Yeah, exactly. So it could still happen if Inasa is told to take care of Toga.
But also he may not be. There's a million other things he could be told to do. So
he could be told to go take care of Dabi, and it goes back to the Todoroki family drama. So anything could happen, but I do foresee Inasa being the lesbian ally we all need and like letting them have whatever moment they're going to have.
Yeah. I think my only thing is that this is a shonen and boys get the spotlight automatically. So
yeah, they do. Even with yesterday's new episode of so much gay, so much canon gay. We still have to not get our hopes too high.
Yeah. Expectations need to still be semi-reasonable.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that was pretty much it. It was again a straightforward chapter. We talked way too long because I was gloating.
You had
way
feelings.
Too long.
It's fine. Feelings need to be processed.
Feelings and gloating. So I mean, that's all I have. If I think of anything else besides my husband being unnecessarily hotified, I will tweet them.
Yeah, I think I'm good here too. So thanks y'all for listening. We will be back hopefully in 7 days, but we don't know. So yeah, just keep your eyes and ears open. And in the meantime, go beyond plus ultra and catch the fuck up. Bye y'all.
Bye.